A community post on the Adventures with Purpose YouTube channel published Thursday, December 1, 2022, addressed Jared Leisek's $1.2 million home and where donations are going. Many have asked about donations and how they are spent. Please visit adventureswithpurpose.com/community/FAQ for a list of answers to this question. Thanks again to everyone for your support in being a part of this movement in helping us search and bring home lost loved ones free of charge to families and law enforcement. When I make a donation, who gets the money and what is it used for? 100% of donations are used and have always been used to cover the expenses of food, fuel, travel, breakdowns, new equipment, vehicles, trailers, and payroll for those traveling nationally with AWP under an employment agreement. Jared Leisek, nor any of his family members have ever received any payroll payments from any donations made to AWP. What happened to the GoFundMe donations for the magnetometer? Amazing news is that with your support, a total of $38,520 was raised from 987 donors for the purchase of a magnetometer and necessary accessories. AWP was able to get a discount and paid J.W. Fishers $25,547.50 on August 19, 2022, picking up the equipment September 30, 2022. Since that time, the magnetometer has been used on the Guthrie's case, missing mom and her 2 children, Randy Leach, Donnie Irwin, and the equipment has been lent out, free of charge, to other dive organizations working their own cases in Oregon/Washington. With an unexpected overage of $12,973 and no way to properly proportion a refund to the 987 donors, the balance was moved into our donation category to help cover the expenses of the 2022 fall trip, which included, but are not limited to food, fuel, travel, and payroll. I heard a rumor that Jared pockets all donations and is super greedy. We've heard this rumor for years. The facts are that donations have never been large enough to cover all expenses of AWP. They fall short of covering food, fuel, travel, and payroll for those with AWP employment agreements. Jared and his wife have multiple income streams to subsidize the additional cost of AWP, which includes, but is not limited to, gear purchases, RVs, trailers, payroll, editors, in-house support staff, merchandising, keeping the vehicles in working order, etc. AWP would crumble if Jared and his wife were not subsidizing the additional funds necessary and appreciate those who donate by helping with the financial burden to help find lost loved ones free of charge for families and law enforcement. I heard Ryan Upchurch donated $100,000 to AWP? Yes, that is correct. After the Keely Rodney case, Ryan made a donation to AWP in the amount of $100,000 on September 15, 2022. With 2 AWP teams on the road working cold cases mid-September through the end of October, 100% of this donation was used to help cover the $160,000 plus budget for food, fuel, travel, and payroll for those under an AWP employment agreement. This donation helped bring home 2 more missing loved ones found underwater in their vehicles. We thank Ryan Upchurch for being a part of this movement and helping Jared and his wife share the financial burden in keeping AWP on the road. I heard Ryan Upchurch donated a $100,000 Hellcat to AWP? Ryan Upchurch donated his Hellcat to one of AWP's employees that was responsible and on scene in the discovery of Keely Rodney. The transaction was outside of AWP, and AWP did not benefit from this donation. We acknowledge the incredibly kind heart and intention of this donation from Ryan. I heard Jared bought a $1.2 million home and a $2.5 million lake front house with donations? No donations have ever been used to pay Jared, his wife, or any of his family members. These rumors come from those who continue to discredit and stir up drama. Jared and his wife have multiple income streams and can choose to do what they wish with their money, be it subsidizing/growing AWP, going on vacation, or buying a home. They do not own a lakefront home of any kind, not that it matters. In mid-2022, Jared and his wife, after living in the same home for 22 years, have chosen to make the move by purchasing a 5-acre, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,400 square foot home for $1.2 million just minutes from their current location. This is not a second home, but their new main residence, which has plenty of room for AWP RVs, trailers, and equipment. Since 100% of donations are used, and have always been used to cover the expenses of food, fuel, travel, breakdowns, and payroll for those traveling nationally with AWP under an employment agreement, which Jared Leisek, nor any of his family members have ever received any payroll payments from any donations made to AWP, we are left shaking our heads that we even had to address this question. If Jared and his wife have multiple income streams, why should I donate to AWP? Why does anyone ever donate to any organization? To be a part of a cause and a movement. There is a huge financial burden upon Jared and his wife to grow the AWP organization to help families and law enforcement free of charge to bring home missing loved ones lost underwater. With your donation, you are playing an important role in helping more families. 100% of donations are used, and have always been used to cover the expenses of food, fuel, travel, breakdowns, purchasing equipment, RVs, trailers and payroll for those traveling nationally with AWP under an employment agreement, which Jared Leisek, nor any of his family members have ever received any payroll payments from any donations made to AWP. We thank those who choose to join forces with the Leiseks and AWP in helping to shoulder the financing required and share their hard-earned money in helping these families in need. I heard everyone is a volunteer and Jared keeps all donations? While many volunteers have come and gone through the years in working with AWP, 100% of donations have always been used to cover the expenses of food, fuel, travel, breakdowns, and payroll for those traveling nationally with AWP under an employment agreement, which Jared Leisek, nor any of his family members have ever received any payroll payments from any donations made to AWP. Sam the Adventure Man had an agreement where Jared mentored Sam in growing his YouTube channel, helping him gain over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. Going above and beyond their agreement, AWP began paying for Sam's travel and meals, while also allowing Sam to record his own content. For the 4 trips Sam took with AWP in September/October 2020, 45 days, the Jan/February 2021, 35-day trip, plus the Montana Tammy Goff and Rosemary Rodriguez case, AWP covered all travel expenses, airfare, lodging, and food. In way of cash, PayPal payments, and reward money, Sam received just over $22,000 for his involvement with AWP. Sam also received gear such as fishing magnets and an inflatable boat from AWP. Many have pointed out that Sam was double-dipping with the income from his own YouTube channel with content AWP would give up to help him grow his own YouTube channel. There was talk about AWP not sharing merch sales with Sam or Dan displaying their likeness and kindness. Sam and Dan received free items with their likeness to either sell or hand out. There were no profits for AWP earned from these items, with AWP losing just over $5,000 on any merchandise with any likeness of Sam and Dan. Despite the hate videos Sam has put out on YouTube, on September 18, 2022 we have documented evidence that Sam made a 5-minute phone call to Jared, apologizing for anything negative he's put out there publicly, and that Jared held up his end of the bargain, going above and beyond as originally agreed. AWP chose to part ways with Sam prior to the fall 2021 trip, not for financial reasons. Dan the cameraman came on as an 18-year-old young man taking a gap year before starting college. He worked with AWP for just over 6 months, earning close to $70,000 from AWP, plus all travel, meals, and lodging expenses on top of his payment from AWP. Dan also received gear such as fishing magnets and an inflatable boat from AWP. AWP received $24,060 in donations during the time period Sam and Dan were a part of AWP, which includes a $10,000 donation from a family member of one who we found and brought home. Team Waters received multiple donations from AWP totaling just over $6,000, plus lodging and meals. Team Waters has a huge heart, and in one instance, Team Waters paid it forward with one of the cash donations we provided, in giving it to a new and upcoming search and recovery diver. Chaos Divers has never been on the AWP payroll, but had a similar agreement as Sam the Adventure Man, where Chaos would participate in searches in exchange for shoutouts in helping build their own YouTube channel. AWP has donated money, covered travel, meals, and lodging for Chaos. AWP has donated fishing magnets, an inflatable boat, an RV, and other gear to help Chaos Divers become successful in finding lost loved ones. One of AWP's lead divers has been paid over $126,000 in their last 12-month period with AWP prior to their departure. AWP also donated gear such as fishing magnets, an inflatable boat, plus covered all travel, meals, lodging, etc. On top of mentoring and helping boost their YouTube and social media channels, They also received cash donations and a $100,000 Hellcat. In addition to the lead diver mentioned above, previous members on the team with employment contracts were compensated anywhere from $200 to $500 daily rates plus bonuses while on the road, whether they were working or not. Additionally, AWP took care of travel, airfare, lodging, food, amusement, and has also donated gear. For these team members, their last 12 months with AWP's financial burden was just over $300,000. AWP has donated to other dive teams, school organizations, and other volunteers, be it cash, travel, lodging, meals, fishing magnets, lift bags, inflatable boats, trainings, and more. AWP received in the previous 12-month period from December 1, 2021 to December 1, 2022 a total of $312,496 in donations, which included a $100,000 donation from Ryan Upchurch. Donations received do not cover the entirety of payroll, travel, lodging and meals for the team as they are on the road. Jared and his wife have covered the additional expenses necessary, plus they've reinvested over $800,000 in new gear, upgrades, payroll, taxes, insurance, etc. for AWP to become what it is today. AWP would not be possible if Jared and his wife were not subsidizing the additional funds necessary for the team as they are on the road to help families and law enforcement find lost loved ones, free of charge. Many don't realize what it takes to save, grow, and invest in a business to take care of others. AWP started out with just Jared and his daughter doing river cleanups in July of 2018 and grew to 20 employees with a $1.1 million annual budget in just over 4 years. AWP's evolving focus has now brought home 26 lost loved ones as of December 1, 2022, free of charge to families and law enforcement. Jared Leisek, nor any of his family members have ever received any payroll payments from any donations made to AWP. Is AWP a 501c3 nonprofit and are my donations tax deductible? Under the advice of our lawyers and accounting firm, AWP is not a 501c3 because AWP does not receive enough donations to sustain the organization without being subsidized by Jared Leisek and his wife. As such, your donations are not tax deductible. The good news, because donations do not cover the full expenses of AWP, 100% of your donations are used and AWP does not pay any taxes of your donation because of business expenses and write-offs on those donations. I heard AWP made Randy Leach's parents pay them $4,000? This one shocked us when we heard about it, for AWP has never asked any family for money. The accusation has changed a bit over time, but we've heard that money was donated and we took advantage of the Leach family by not using it properly. On 2 separate trips to help Randy's parents search for their son, free of charge, who had been missing for over 30 years, upon our departure each time, we received a thank you card with $2,000 in cash each time. This donation was split evenly between Sam, Dan, and Jared. Jared used 100% of this donation to cover food and fuel expenses for the team during the September/October 2020 and Jan/February 2021 trips. Sam and Dan did not contribute, and it's none of our business what they decided to do with this donation. In the fall of 2022, Jared and his team returned to Linwood, Kansas using the new magnetometer to search for Randy. Several targets were identified with the magnetometer, but unfortunately, Randy has not been found. AWP did not record, and there will be no video produced about our return trip. I heard AWP received a $40,000 reward for finding Tammy and kept it? 2 things to tackle with this question. The first is that as of December 1, 2022, AWP did receive a reward in the amount of $40,000 from the Goff family. This is the only reward AWP has ever received. AWP does not choose cases based on rewards, does not expect rewards, and does not try to enforce the payout of any rewards. AWP has grown in their experience and, as a disclaimer, once threatened a lawsuit in the Ethan Kazmierzak case when a $100,000 reward was not honored. However, because that is not why we work these cases in helping families, we let our knee-jerk reaction subside and moved on with the approach that if a reward is ever received, we will split it evenly among the team members working the case that day, and honor it in helping grow AWP to help other families in need of our services, free of charge to them and law enforcement. A $40,000 check was received by AWP for finding Tammy Goff. This donation was split evenly between Sam, Doug, and Jared. Jared used 100% of this donation to cover the week-long trip for food and fuel expenses for the team to travel to Montana from Oregon, and used the remaining proceeds to purchase a new AWP dive trailer wrap, plus additional dive gear. Sam and Doug did not contribute, and it's none of our business what they decided to do with this donation. That's the end of the Adventures with Purpose answers. As for me, I'll close again with Mark 8 verse 36, for what shall it profit a man, if he shall gain the whole world, and lose his own soul?